A very good evening to you, dear viewer. Once again, thank you so much for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukomampango. First though, let's look at the top stories.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Tonight, First Lady Foundation lays foundation stone for 23 billion shillings for NCHE main building. And then Kadagaman cleared to face off for second national vice chairperson. Second, then in sports, Uganda fans optimistic ahead of the Uganda Cranes quarterfinal.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
And into the news, the Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Kataham-Seveni, has reiterated her request to the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to provide all the required funds for the construction of the National Council for Higher Education main building in view of the importance of the project to the sector.
Itself allows for natural lighting and natural ventilation, so they do not have to use ACs in this structure.
National Council for Higher Education Chair started constructing the main building that will house an auditorium to accommodate 300 people. The Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataham-Seveni, has laid the foundation for the infrastructure that is to cost government 23 billion Ugandan shillings. She said the ultimate objective is to facilitate the production of a knowledge and skilled labor force with emphasis on science and technology.
I'm also pleased to note that this project has a component of a research and innovation hub aimed at providing physical and digital infrastructure which supports advanced research, innovation, incubation, and partnership with industry. Written to my colleague, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, requesting that all the required funds should be provided for. I am reiterating the same request today in view of the importance of this project to our sector.
The Executive Director, National Council for Higher Education, Mary Okwakol, said the building will enable them enhance their regulatory function, provide a platform for research coordination and policy harmonization.
So far, 5 billion shillings has been released to kickstart the project. Regrettably, no funds were allocated for the project during this financial year. There is therefore a risk of the contractor stopping construction due to lack of funds.
National Council for Higher Education and higher education institutions are allegedly underfunded, hence affecting the provision of quality education in higher institutions. The chairperson, National Council for Higher Education, Professor Joy Kwesiga, has requested government for guidance on how the TVET Act is to be implemented alongside the Universities and Other Tertiary Institutions Act, because there is likely to be double regulation of higher education institutions.
Double regulation of higher education institutions in Uganda, as created by the overlapping mandates, will lead to inefficiencies, confusion, and potential conflicts in the regulatory framework, and ultimately impacting the quality and effectiveness of higher education.
Regarding the issue raised by the chairperson, occasioned by the TVET Act 2025, which require clarification, I'm aware that the Minister of State for Higher Education, Honorable Miyingo, is handling this. The Ministry will guide the stakeholders on the way forward as soon as the analysis of the Act is completed.
The Nche main building is 5,300 square meters and has already received 5 billion shillings out of the allocated funds of 23 billion. Construction started on 8th Jan 2025 and is expected to be completed on 8th January 2027. I'm Nafka Farida in Kampala.
Well, thank you very much, then, Nafka Farid. Now, the NRM Secretary General, Richard Todong, has revealed that although the Thursday, 21st August 2025 NRM Central Executive Committee voting meeting was largely successful, with expectation of some candidates opting to pull out of the race, a grace period of 12 hours was given to other contestants to harmonize. Among those who are expected to come to a common understanding are Speaker Annette Anita Mong and First Deputy Prime Minister Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga.
Hundreds of NRM delegates across the country Friday morning started arriving at UICT Nakawa grounds for accreditation.
Today we are doing accreditation for members who are going to attend the National Executive Council meeting tomorrow, and there are about 1,000 in numbers.
The process is being spearheaded by the NRM Secretariat.
Basically, the chairpersons LC5, chairpersons NRM at the district level, the members of parliament, and the SIG executives.
Speaking to the media from Nakawa, NRM Secretary General Richard Todong briefed the country about the Thursday SEC vetting exercise which took place at State House in Tibi.
Yesterday we started the process of vetting. I'm happy to report that His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was vetted unopposed because he was nominated unopposed. He was vetted for the national chairman of the party and as the presidential flag bearer for NRM for 2026 general election. We also vetted Alhaji Moses Chigongo, who was vetted unopposed, and those two have been forwarded for consideration by NEC and for onward endorsement by the conference.
With so much unverified information making rounds, the party is optimistic that indeed harmony will prevail.
Well, a lot will be said outside the closed doors because at times people want to go out creating stories, creating content. It's a time where people should be calm and be waiting for official communication. But for me, as Jovrin Kalisa Chomkama, I am still in the race of the national chairperson NRM Women's League.
Negotiations are still going on between the two right honorables. They are the only two candidates, so we have given them time to see if they can agree among themselves so that we take one. But if they fail to agree, definitely we shall forward all of them to NEC tomorrow, and NEC will forward them to the national conference. But as for now, we believe that they are in negotiation with one another.
I call upon our sisters, Honorable Speaker of Parliament and the former Speaker, Sister Kadaga, Mama, to sit together like the President requested so that we can see how we need both of them.
The party is also sending a strong warning to those breaching the party guidelines during such processes.
Hiding delegates is a primitive act, and it is one of the prohibited conducts under the National Resistance Movement.
For the delegates, they all want contestants to front the party beyond self.
Spoke to them and gave them the bigger picture of the national leadership for the party, and some of them had to reconsider their earlier position, and they indeed withdrew voluntarily, not out of any coercion. So they withdrew voluntarily and accepted to work with those they recommend to remain in the race.
We mustn't be selfish for our self-gains, but we look as the party. What value are we adding to the party? Not rubbing shoulders, but we need to work for the party.
The National Executive Committee Conference will convene on Saturday, 23rd August 2025 at State House in Tebe. Robert Nyago, UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Robert Nyanguna. The woman MP Kamali District, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, says if she is defeated in the coming SEC elections by Anita Among, the NRM support in Busoga is likely to reduce. She made these remarks after her opponent in the second National Vice Chairperson position, Speaker of Parliament Anita Among, refused to step down in her favor, leaving SEC chaired by President Yoweri Museveni with no option but to let both of them face off at Kololo next week. Philip Aguta has more.
It will be a showdown during NRM Delegates Conference next week as the Central Executive Committee of the National Resistance Movement, headed by President Yoweri Museveni, cleared both Rebecca Kadaga and Anita Among to compete for the same position of the second National Vice Chairperson, female. It's said that the heated SEC vetting process at State House in Tebe had wanted the Speaker Anita Among to step down for the incumbent Rebecca Kadaga, but that didn't happen. Kadaga urges the delegates for their support since she's an experienced, tried and tested leader.
So I've been part of this journey all along. So I just wanted to want to reassure members of NRM that I am in the race. And secondly, to ask them to, as usual, to support me in this quest so that I can continue designing and energizing the lives of the people of Uganda.
In a media briefing in Kampala, Ms. Kadaga said she is still a kingmaker in Busoga and has influence, citing her haters' loss in the July 17th party primaries for members of parliament.
MPs losing that is my strength. My strength is with the people. That's why those who fought me had to lose. My strength is with the people. I have told you that there are reasons why he lost, and I've told the fishing, the sugar industry, etc. Recently, he called meetings on those issues in Jinja. So if he has resolved the issue, let's wait for the population.
She refuted social media reports that she was removed from participating in the SEC elections.
Yesterday, even before the meeting began, some unscrupulous people put information on the internet that I had been disqualified, and yet we had not even started the meeting. This information was put in around in the morning. The meeting took place in the afternoon. So I've come really to clarify that I'm a candidate and we shall be having elections next week. So I wanted that to be clear.
Meanwhile, the position for National Vice Chairperson for Western has seen at least 4 aspirants, including the brother to President Museveni, Cedric Nwomugisha, step down in favor of the incumbent and Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Chris Bariomusi. However, 6 other competitors still remain in the race.
We presented ourselves to the SEC, and definitely, even those who are still contesting, I'm sure they appreciate that I have been doing my work as a vice chairperson, being there for NRM, speaking for NRM, attending the concerns of NRM, and that's why some of them withdrew, because they saw that I'm still able to continue with the work of being a SEC member representing Western region.
The more than 45,000 delegates at the forthcoming NRM Delegates Conference are the ones that will elect SEC members to various positions next week on 27th and 28th August 2025. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
The Uganda Communications Commission, UCC, has announced plans to enforce stricter guidelines to regulate media houses on election reporting, particularly the announcement of results in the upcoming general elections. This was revealed by the UCC Executive Director George William Nyombe Thembo during an engagement with the executive broadcasters at UCC headquarters in Kampala.
Among the key issues highlighted was the practice of announcing election results that have not been officially released by the Electoral Commission tally centers, an act that could attract heavy penalties, including possible closure of media houses.
The results that will be mentioned on any media outlet should be results from that agency that is lawfully authorized to release results. And we are going to come out with very, very strict guidelines, regulatory guidelines on this. And really, without complying with this, will lead to maximum sanctions. Because you want to ban the defendant, you want to ban all of us, we can't allow this. So maximum sanction, which means withdrawal of a license.
Thembo urged media houses to prioritize sustainability and professionalism by ensuring fair staff remuneration to avoid unethical practices driven by financial survival.
We are going to put more emphasis now on sustainability, commercial sustainability, but you must show us the plan where you're getting money to pay your people. And this payment should be evidenced that we're paying people. We shall need to see your payroll from the CEO to the janitor.
There is need for journalists to produce fact-based and well-researched stories, distinguishing themselves from social media platforms that often spread misinformation capable of disrupting national peace.
I am asking every day, who allegedly must have proven it to him that the allegation holds water. Then I can respond to the water. Kindly let your people take us to task, produce evidence.
In response, heads of media houses pledged cooperation and teamwork in reporting election outcomes responsibly in order to prevent backlash.
So it's very, very important as media executives to understand that we operate in an environment that needs to be safe and needs to be secure. And we work with these former agencies on how to secure our country.
The engagement also served to remind broadcasters of their license obligations ahead of the upcoming license renewals in September 2025. Winnie Ainebabas Katwire and Dan Lugemwa for UBC.
Now, Kampala Lord Mayor Arias Lukwago Friday made an unannounced visit to the National Environment Management Authority Nema headquarters, seeking to halt the ongoing construction works on the 9-kilometer Nachivubo Channel in downtown Kampala amid a controversy over the legality of the redevelopment plan. Wadulo McArnold has more.
At 11:20 a.m., Lukwago was initially blocked by security from accessing NEMA's executive director, Dr. Barirega Akankwasa.
Fetwina Kampala Drainage Master Plan. Ya 2016 government bagigamba eteekeyo $1 million 220. Era negamba buli mwaka egenda kuteekayo $1 million 22. Gye myaka 10 okuva 2016. Emyala 8 emikulu nga giwedde okukolebwako. Nga mwe muli ogw'Nakivubo, ogw'Omulubigi, ogwa Kinawataka, Kansanga, Nalukolongo, Mayanja, Walufumbe ne Nalubaga. Egyo emyala 8 nga gye girina okukolebwako. N'okutuusa olwaleero gavumenti eteekangayo n'ekikumi. Kati Hamisi Kigundu byakola biri mu layini ya Kampala Drainage Master Plan gye twakola. World Bank ye yagiteekamu ssente okukola Drainage Master Plan. Tubuuza eyo bye plan eze zaalina ezitali approved ziri mu layini y'emu ne ya Kampala Drainage Master Plan zikwatagana oba ffe tukole byaffe nga naye akola bibye.
After 40 minutes, he was allowed entry and joined by members of the press 20 minutes later. despite President Museveni's August 2nd directive supporting businessman Hamis Kigundu's redevelopment proposal. The National Environment Act 2019 empowers Kampala Capital City Authority as the lead agency for environmental and drainage management in the city. Section 26 clearly mandates KCCA to enforce compliance, conduct environmental inspections, and oversee planning within its jurisdiction, all under Nema's guidance.
We did receive an application for environment and social impact assessment, but this is still under review, and a decision will be made, and then the public will be updated regarding that decision. And we have since started investigations relating to the developments, and once we have concluded our investigations, it will inform us on the next course of action.
On the other hand, the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions and Statutory Enterprises, COSASE, convened with KCCA's Physical Planning Committee this morning, posing 5 critical questions on the matter.
So we would want to look at the expression of interest to develop this stream. Is it a channel? The channel? 2, the approvals of KCCA through the relevant organs of the agency, the approved plans, the consent of Nema. The honourable member has mentioned of a presidential directive. Is it true there is a presidential directive on this?
KCCA's Deputy Executive Director, Chigenyi Benon Moses, confirmed seeing the presidential order and admitted that Ham Enterprises Uganda Limited had applied to KCCA for the Nachivubo redevelopment in February 2025.
The nature of development application is very expansive, but we are alive to the fact that this would touch many entities of government because of the fragility in terms of ecology of the channel, but also speaks to the Kampala Capital City Drainage Master Plan efforts.
Members of the public have raised alarm over the alleged bypassing of legal procedures in fast-tracking this project, demanding transparency and adherence to the environmental law.
It comes with a cost. And who is to develop? That is the question. Who is to develop our city, Kampala? Is it the government or is the investors? Why are you telling us that everything government doesn't have money? When people are paying taxes, you are saying that you are giving the richer people to do it. But just you go and ask in water, national water. These people, they don't pay even water. National water is demanding a lot of money from them.
By 1 p.m. today, construction graders were observed excavating at the channel site, intensifying concerns about ongoing environmental and procedural compliance. The KCCA team at Parliament has been requested to submit all Ham Enterprises Uganda Limited's documents related to the redevelopment by close of business today. Additionally, they have been called to appear before COSASE next week on Tuesday, 26th August 2025 at 10 a.m. alongside the Minister of Internal Affairs, the Inspector General of Police, the Minister for Kampala, the Executive Director of KCCA, the Lord Mayor, and other designated officials. Wadulo Arnold Mark, UBC News, in Kampala.
Now the Secretary for Hijjah and Imam at Old Mosque, Ali Juma Shihuyo, has extended gratitude to President Yoweri Museveni for fulfilling his promise to support Ugandan Muslim undertaking the sacred journey of Umrah and Hajj. Speaking during a farewell ceremony for the departing pilgrims, he acknowledged the government's continued support in facilitating the journeys, describing the opportunity as a blessing for the faithful.
He urged pilgrims to remain vigilant
particularly at airports, noting that some African countries have been blacklisted due to drug trafficking incidents.
Uganda has been blacklisted because of carrying the cocaine and the other drugs. So be very careful when you are traveling, mind about your bag. Don't just go in for assisting somebody at the airport because you may fall a victim of having carried things that are not allowed to go through the airport. So finally, we wish you a safe journey to Saudi for performing Umrah and until we come back.
Travelers were cautioned to take full responsibility for their luggage and avoid assisting strangers, as this could lead to unknowingly carrying illegal items. Shiwuyu also issued a warning to those heading to Mecca to be aware of pickpockets and individuals with ill motives.
In Mecca we have conmen also. It is just important for you to note that you must keep with your money, and when you are moving, be very conscious of people. In Mecca we have people who go to Mecca with ill motives of, again, spoiling or stealing. Be very cautious of those people and very careful in order to enable you go through your Umrah rituals when you are.
Presidential Assistant on Political Affairs Moses Byarhanga expressed happiness at the successful preparations and shared future plans to support imams and amirats through the formation of SACCOs.
But many have been saying that there is some interest there of 6% like in the PDM. So they think under the Islamic faith, they don't borrow money where you have to pay interest. They call it riba. So we have said, okay, that on the side, although the 6% is to maintain the value of the money, not to make profit. Because even that 6% does not come to the government. It stays in the SACCO. It's like a contribution to a SACCO, so because this is where you got the money from. It's not much different from how they do Islamic banking. But that notwithstanding, we said, okay, let us form a SACCO per district, one for imams and one for who are men and one for emirats who are women. So that in every district we have 2 SACCOs. We put in 100 million in each SACCO, that's 200 million per district. And when you look at the districts in Uganda, including the cities, they become about 150. So we're going to spend about 30 billion to start off with these SACCOs. Yeah. They will be run according to Islamic banking and run by the Muslims themselves.
Byarhanga also advised pilgrims to limit the use of smartphones during the journey in order to maintain discipline and avoid unnecessary distractions.
When you are out there, you are Uganda's ambassadors. You are not there just as an individual emirat or a district kadi or an imam. You are there as Uganda. Other people see you as Uganda. So how you behave, how you present yourself, they see Uganda in you. So be our good ambassadors and also pray for your country, Uganda.
Although they missed out on an earlier visa, they will now perform Umrah and return for Hajj in December, describing the experience as a blessing in disguise. The departing imams commended the president's support, noting that more pilgrims are now traveling compared to previous years. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, a little into sports, the Uganda Cranes has held its final training session ahead of its eagerly anticipated African Nation Championship quarterfinal against Senegal. The session at Nambole's training pitch was full house.
The day that many Ugandans have dreamt all their lives is finally here. The Uganda Cranes will tomorrow, Saturday, the 23rd day of August 2025, walk onto Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, for a first ever knockout game in the Championship of African Nations Tournament.
Tomorrow's game is going to be a very, very hard game, but we've prepared as usual. The only difference is that it's no more group stages. This is a knockout game. One of the two has to win to qualify for semi-finals. It's going to be a very hard game for us, most especially because we are at home. We want it more, but we are playing a very, very disciplined team, very organized team, which has been champion the last 2 years, so we are much aware of them, how good they are, but we are going to come all out to see that we represent our country so well.
The team will be welcomed by a solid out crowd that has been pivotal in the previous games in victories over Guinea and Niger before outwitting South Africa.
We at home, we have the backup of our fans. They've been working extremely hard for us to win games. I think in front of them tomorrow, come tomorrow, we shall do our best to see that we overcome the game.
The team's last session at Mandela National Stadium Nambole's training pitch has been one characterized by camaraderie, with all players, including the returning Joel Serunjoji, in upbeat mood.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank the coaches for having trusting me to be in the team. Yeah, about tomorrow's game, it's like it won't be putting me on pressure.
With the first two quarterfinals out of the way, what follows is Uganda versus Senegal at Nambole and Sudan against Algeria at Amman Stadium in Zanzibar City. Reporting for BBC TV, Helen Barbara and John Barnes, Sentamu.
Still in sports, Ugandan fans have expressed optimism ahead of the Uganda Cranes quarter-final against Senegal, scheduled for this Saturday at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole. Let's hear more in this report.
Without a doubt, Ugandans have, during this running of the Champions of African Nations CHAN tournament, been arguably the best fans. Those at the stadium have shouted themselves hoarse, while others remained glued to platforms like UBC TV and its sister stations to follow every minute of the games that far. Going into the first ever knockout game, the fans are expectant. A trip to Lira, which is the home of team captain Alan Okello, reveals a nation that prides in its own.
I'm telling you, I've been asking young boys that they want to be like Okello. So, the children, the parents, please tell your people, your children to watch Okello, because you know the talent is always given by God. So if Okello can pick up from Lira and is now excelling, the whole world watching him, why not your child, who is in the primary and secondary school?
First of all, I've been Alan's #1 staunch fan from Lango, all the way from 2016 when I joined it. First of all, my first club was in the Paraka Football Club, until Alan was so impressive with the Lango boys that were trusted at KCCA, and I trusted in Alan very much. Each time I watch Alan playing, I feel we are going to score, I feel we are going to win, and each time he's on the ball, I feel he's going to score, he's going to make us win. Only that he needs to have a little bit of the strength on him, because each time, if he's not really going to be maybe dribbling the ball, playing around with defenders, strikers with good with his skills, he can easily be put down. But
even those around Kampala, capital city, have joined the craze and shared their opinions ahead of a history maker tie that may yield better dividends.
First of all, I would like to congratulate the Ugandan Crane for the good performance in the recent tournament. We did very well, and we saw the tactics they applied. They could use the same to conquer Senegal tomorrow. My prediction would be a win for Uganda.
Uganda Cranes will beat Senegal 3-0. Because when I saw the last match for Senegal, it was Senegal against South Sudan. They exhibited the highest degree of weakness that I had ever seen in this century.
Uganda plays Senegal this Saturday in the first 5 p.m. kickoff for the team in this tournament. Reporting for BBC TV, Helen Barbara, Gizamba.
Now, Uganda Police Force has dismissed a social media report that many fans suffered acts of hooliganism and violence in the aftermath of the Uganda versus South Africa CHAN game at Nambole last Monday. This was confirmed by the local organizing committee and the communication subcommittee chairperson, Dr. Dennis Mugimba, who also addressed the pertinent issues of ticketing, during the briefing at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala.
Furthermore, the LOC would like to reiterate the following measures. As we told you last time we were here, fans perceived to be aggressive in their behavior towards the tournament officials at the Nambole gates, fans or security personnel, or are deemed to be under the influence of intoxicating substances such as alcohol, will not be allowed to enter the stadium past the gates, even though you are holding a genuine ticket. 2024 to clarify on 2 issues of public concern and associated with CHAN 2024 tournament in Uganda. First, following Match Day 5, which was held on Monday 18th of August 2025 at Nambole Stadium, a couple of videos emerged on social media alleging acts of lawlessness such as robberies, physical violence, and bodily injuries against fans who were exiting the gates and along the routes close to the stadium exits.
Minister for State Transport, Minister for State and Transport, Fred Byamukama, has challenged the newly sworn-in board member of Uganda Airlines to consolidate the airline's achievements while avoiding wasteful spending. Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony, the minister said that government has made significant investments in the national carrier to ensure meaningful returns and spur economic growth. Government also dismissed public allegations that Uganda's CRJ's Bombardier aircraft are fake, clarifying that government legitimately acquired brand new planes. As we hear more in this report.
Minister of State for Transport, Fred Byamukama, has urged the newly sworn-in board members of Uganda Airlines to maintain the gains of the airlines while avoiding wasteful expenditure of resources.
Possibility to consolidate and strengthen these gains. Your oversight will help management focus more on the core business of the airline and avoid wasteful expenditure of critical resources.
Byamukama says government has invested much in the airline to ensure returns and boost the country's economy.
Uganda Airlines is very dear to His Excellency the President, he has always told you, because he understood that establishing it would provide economic and social benefits by boosting tourism, trade and economic growth. Since its launch, it has helped to promote the national identity.
During the ceremony, the newly appointed chairperson, Priska Mirembe Seluga, pledged to uphold integrity and serve diligently while citing challenges encountered.
I, Patrick Wachaila,
swear that I will at all times
and truly serve the Republic of Uganda,
the office of member of the board,
and that I will observe
and uphold the Constitution,
so help me God.
Our starting point is in completing our 10-year corporate strategy, and as we have been guided that it is well aligned to the NDP.
Focus your strategic plan on the new NDP 4, particularly the 10-fold strategy and the role of the airline as part of the infrastructure.
Meanwhile, Minister Byamukama dismissed opposition claims, suggesting that the airline's CRJ Bombardier aircrafts are not operational. He reaffirmed that the aircrafts are in good condition and remain fully functional.
Our CRJ Bombardier aircrafts are good, and there was due diligence which was done when they were purchasing them, but now they ceased to produce them, but the spare parts are still there. And our aircrafts are well maintained. They are functioning very well. All of us, we fly them. You have seen the president flying with them. That propaganda from the opposition that once you board them, you can't reach. They are vulnerable to accidents. Anytime it is coming, that is false propaganda.
I clarify
that the issue of spare parts is a global challenge. It is not unique to Uganda Airlines because of the bombardiers.
The minister also revealed that the government plans to acquire additional aircrafts, but cautioned the board against opening new routes prematurely.
We don't expect the opening of new routes. That one, we don't want even to hit in the ears. As we talk now, let's first manage what we have until we buy the new aircrafts.
There's a plan to acquire new aircraft. More aircraft for Uganda Airlines.
Irene Faith Nantongo, Kenneth Tanaba, UBC News.
Now, in the area of enhancing internet, the State Minister for Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga Baluku, together with Uganda Tourism Board Executive Director, have launched a free government Wi-Fi at a Kikorongo Equator Monument in Queen Elizabeth National Park, Kasese District. This is to enhance connectivity for both local and international tourists ahead of the Rwenzori Taskalite Marathon slated for this Saturday this week.
Equator Crossing in Kasese District. Godfrey Kabyanga Baluku, the State Minister for Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance, officiated at the commission of the initiative, which aims at enabling tourists to communicate back to their countries.
This one is also historical to the Taskalite Rwenzori Marathon, because this is where the real marathon will begin, the 40-kilometer race. So we, as the government, we are determined to upscale those sites. We are going to connect more than 3,000 sites in the whole country. But we are starting here because it is very, very historical.
Kabyanga reiterated the government's commitment to upscale more than 3 sites across Uganda's national parks and institutions of interest to tourists, inclusive for effective communication.
Today we are launching Wi-Fi. We must protect that gain. That's a very important milestone that we must protect. The other day we were launching it in Wera. We are now launching it here. We are now launching another one in Kasese town. Now these are some of the gains, and there are so many other gains, but this is one of them. And we are appealing to all Ugandans that these gains need to be protected.
Juliana Kagwa, the Chief Executive Officer, UTB, noted that the partnership rhythms with the Rwenzori Tourism Destination Management Plan, which aims at improving visitors' experience, building local capacity, supporting conservation, and strengthening the region's competitiveness in both local and international markets.
This is a project that has started and will continue. We've been at it for a while, but today is evidence, is a testimony to what can happen when 2 or 3 strong government agencies come together. So this is a collaboration between NITA-U, Uganda Tourism Board, Uganda Wildlife Authority, Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities.
As you are all aware, for any business to thrive, communication is very key. And when you look at many other platforms of communication, internet is one of them. By this, we can communicate both locally and internationally.
According to Richard Obita, the Director of Technical Services NITA-U, the Wi-Fi is permanent and free of charge to everyone, and NITA-U will ensure its maintenance for effectiveness.
It's going to stay here. We are going to maintain it and ensure that everybody who comes into this location can actually have free access. And if you go right into your mobile phones, you can actually look out for NITA-U free Wi-Fi and connect directly.
The commissioning of the free Wi-Fi is part of the events held ahead of the Rwenzori Taskalite Marathon, due on Saturday this week, to enable tourists to post videos as the way of marketing Uganda's tourism destination and potential. Story compiled by Sula Kagugube for UBC News.
Budo Kimbeja is witnessing tensions as the 80 homes face demolition following a land dispute involving government officials and local landowners. The committee overseeing presidential land matters, led by Brigadier General Luchamazi, is stepping in after heirs of the late Mzee Paul Kikonyogo Katerega claims ownership of the plots sold decades ago without proper consent.
Residents report being forced to pay money to secure plots only to face ongoing harassment and coercion as sales continue.
Kati bebagamba bano nti muzimbe fe batwazimba mu lusozi bakolaki abaffe bazimba babakolaki namwe muzi mukyala nabukalu toteeka mikono ku ndagano zitunda ttaka lyaffe naye ne babigomba abazze jjojjuuzi naye yagaana okujja okutubuuza n'ateekako endagano omukono ku ndagaano ezo ate n'abanagambu baamubuzaabuza.
Despite court orders halting the evictions, local council leaders, including Chairperson Nabukalu Edith, are mediating between affected families and authorities.
Nze mbadde nsaba benawa sente zange bazinzize ndiwaddemba okuvaawo newe bazimpa kati nsobola okuvaawo sina buzibu n'ekyo.
Aso ne baziimuula ekiragiro kya kkooti ne bazimba bwe tubasangawo tugenda kubakwata bavunaanibwe omusango gwa contempt of court.
Some landowners allege intimidation.
Kooti ngenda mu area eno nabbi waliwo syndicate y'abantu mbamanyi Nabbingo, Nsanji, Buddo, abagendera ddala paka wali, paka maya, katende, muoperating irawo. Mukole emirimu gyammwe mugulamu, mba mwabbanga mwafuna ssente, kyekiseera mugule mubuzika mujja muze mwabba.
The Presidential Land Committee, chaired by Sem Pagala Jamil, warned individuals attempting illegal construction. The dispute has left many homeowners fearful, while families highlight collusion.
Nga akimu bigombe yaliwa. Yegwa akimu bigombe. Kikoze bulungi. Abalala abakozi ba gavumenti essaawa eno sigenda basanguza mani. Naye mubagambe balongoose bye baakola. Tukooye okutereezanga abantu nga bwe boonoona. Pulezidenti Museveni buli kimu akikoze okumalawo ekibbattaka. Mu poliisi mulimu department erwanyisa ettaka. Ekkooti abalamuzi beeyongedde. Obukiiko obulwanyisa ettaka waliwo n'abeeteekawo. Njize ndi nva wa pulezidenti nnwanyisa ttaka nabo ne babeeraawo ne bakola ebyabwe. Ne wabeerawo ministry namba weeri naffe weetuli anti-corruption weeri nammwe bannayuganda weemuli lwaki ekibbattaka kyeyongedde.
The controversy highlights the need for transparent land administration and enforcement of legal property rights in Uganda. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, NRM loyalists have launched Independent Voices Uganda, signaling a major shift in party dynamics before the elections. The group, led by Nambari Haruna, comprises of candidates alleging unfair treatment in the recent NRM primaries.
In Machindie, the group unveiled an 18-member interim committee to mobilize support and guide its electoral process.
I'm heading them to see that at least since we are coming as independent, we have to win, to show that we had the ground and we are just cheated.
The platform is not a party, but unites NRM leaning independents sidelined by internal structures.
We are just independent minds who are having the same goals, the same objectives, and we are also aspiring to support the president, but also trying to open him that there are a lot of injustices on ground, but we are not a pressure group at all.
Members are citing widespread primary irregularities, including vote manipulation and exclusion of grassroots supporters.
What we have observed in the structure elections, in the primaries, there is no democracy at all. Therefore, we would like to cry out and lift our voice to our president to please act as soon as possible before the NRM practically crumbles down.
The group is seeking public support, planning a press conference and urging President Museveni to address growing party injustices.
The reason why we are coming having witnessed injustice in primaries of NRM. And we are not against NRM, neither are we against President Museveni. But we are coming hoping that the general elections
will be free and fair, such that the will of the people is seen.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Balam Bargahara, is in Mbale City for a performance visit on the YLP and PDM Emyoga. He commended the district's strong report and visited several thriving groups. Bargahara is accompanied by the State Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Nambozo Florence, and other political figures.
State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs Balam Bargahara received a warm welcome in Mbale City.
We started the day with the supervision of the workers' leadership election for the city and for the district and at the zone.
The minister, in company of State Minister for Karamoja Affairs Florence Nambozo and other political figures, visited Mbale City to evaluate the performance of Youth Livelihood Program YLP, Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program UWEP, Parish Development Model PDM, and Emyoga.
So, all in all, Mbale, they seem to be working.
We have come to look at the performance of the programs in which the government has invested a lot of money. And I'm glad we are speaking to leaders, although the other leaders are down at the grassroots, like the LC ones, cascading upward, including the CDOs. I can see the performance is not bad, but
he commended the district's strong reporting on government programs and visited several thriving YLP and WUEP groups. Balam encouraged continued focus on impactful delivery before heading for the Youth Baraza.
With Mbale, I'm impressed with the beneficiaries how they are performing. One old woman with 3 acres of coffee, she said she was earning only 300,000 from her farm. But now the farm is green because when she got the 1 million, she purchased fertilizers. And our plants are green and they have put on more coffee than the previous one.
The minister also cautioned politicians against violence, calling on peaceful campaigns and elections.
Politicians are used to divisive politics of identity. I told them the president is a nationalistic. It's the same reason why he sits in the same cabinet with another presidential candidate called Norbert Mao, Honorable Norbert Mao. He also gave him a serious Minister of Justice, which runs the Electoral Commission and which runs judiciary. So that shows how the president is. So I told the politicians of Mbale, stop their bickering that this one is no, this one is the other one. We can work together. We can work with those opposition people and we pull them to us. We bring them together to work with us, and then you'll see a game changer.
As the government continues to support youth programs, youth empowerment, Minister Balam's visit highlights the importance of these initiatives. Janyira Mugisha compiled this report for UBC.
Now, in a heartwarming display of community service, the Pakistani Association in Uganda, in collaboration with the Overseas Pakistanis Global Foundation for Africa, has been conducting free cataract eye surgeries for underprivileged Ugandans. The initiative has brought hope and restoration.
The Pakistan Association in Uganda, in collaboration with the Overseas Pakistanis Global Foundation Africa, OPGFA, has been conducting free cataract eye surgeries for underprivileged Ugandans. This initiative has already made a significant impact on the lives of hundreds of people across the country. The free eye surgery camps held in various regions of Uganda, including Lila and Jinja, have attracted over 500 patients who have benefited from the treatment.
Those people who cannot see the world with their own eyes, they will see the world with all its colors in real terms. So it is a great day for the patients, it is a great day for the Pakistani community, and it is a great day for us that we take pride in having such a wonderful and fantastic community. This is a free eye hospital where people are treated free of charge. People are coming from every corner of Uganda.
Many of the patients who have received treatment had been suffering from poor vision due to the cataracts, with some cases going untreated for years. The community has expressed immense gratitude for the initiative, with many patients praising the Pakistan community for their generosity.
In this cataract problem comes the people who are plus 45. There are many reasons to get this issue, but we need to care of our eyes. We are offering through your media that everyone has a right to come to our hospital. We can give them a care of the eyes, and I think they can save their eyes, but the cataract can come anytime.
The doctors involved in the initiative have emphasized the importance of eye care. Mr. Skandi Chema, the president and founder of Overseas Pakistan's Global Foundation Africa, advised people to take care of their eyes.
Mostly the old age diseases like the cataract. The cataract usually come in the diabetes. So we try to screen the patient, we try to diagnose the patient at the same time, like today, as the operation, the surgeries are going on, which are totally free for those people to avoid the blindness which goes undiagnosed in this country. That is our aim, so that the people get the eyesight, they can free also enjoy the life. This is our aim.
This initiative is a testament to the Pakistanis' community commitment to giving back to the Ugandan community and improving the lives of its citizens.
Group together with MTN present Alive in the Park, the big party on the 12th of September at the Millennium Park, Lugogo. This year's Family Fun Park Festival features performances by Pompey, Esther Chungu, Teresa Pondo, and your top Ugandan gospel artists. Tickets are 30k ordinary, 70k VIP, and 150k for VVIP.
What of the elephant?
Alibaba tickets are available at 20k ordinary and 50k VIP for a limited time. Gates open at 12 p.m. To buy your ticket, dial *165 *20# and buy your ticket from MTN Momo. Alive in the Park is powered by Uganda Airlines, Safe Border, Cooksey Ice Cream, Kampala Serena Hotel, Zeti Inubia,
and MTN. Together, we're unstoppable.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
The Namunkekera Industrial Trade Show and Bazaar is back. Bigger, better, and bolder. Brought to you by Namunkekera Rural Industrial Center and Operation Wealth Creation under the theme Driving Industrialization for Sustainable Growth from Thursday 28th to Saturday 30th August 2025 at the amazing Liaoshen Industrial Park, Kapeka. Chief guest is General Salim Saleh, Chief Coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation. Entrance is 2,000 shillings per day. Are you a business owner, school administrator, or someone who loves to support local products? This is your event. Enjoy crazy discounts on quality items from Liaoshen Industrial Park and other authentic Ugandan exhibitors from across the country. Stylish fashion garments, shoes and bags, sleek mobile phones and electrical appliances, beautiful ceramics, tiles, durable agriculture tools and equipment, mouth-watering dried mangoes and pineapples, plus so much more. Don't miss performances from Uganda's top artists. To exhibit, call Kapeka, the center for all your quality products.
Welcome back. It's time for us to delve into the world of business. Now, the Kingfisher oil field in Kikube district has hit a major milestone with the completion of its 15th oil well, a development expected to guarantee sustainable crude oil supply during Uganda's production phase. Let's see more.
Works at the Kingfisher site in Buhuka are progressing on schedule, with construction of the central processing facility now in full swing. The facility is designed to remove impurities from crude oil before it is refined or exported.
Overall project of EPC3, because the CPF is under EPC3 project. My colleague that talked about for design, that is the engineering is for designing, the P is procuring the equipment that we are seeing here, and then the C is for the constructing those equipments. Okay, so the CPF is alone is at 95%, but the overall EPC3 project is at 93%. Yes.
So far, 15 of the planned 13 wells have been completed, a significant step in the next phase of Uganda's oil project.
We needed 15 wells for first oil. So the drilling part, we are ready to produce oil. But like I have said, ECOP is not yet ready. The government also has a very big interest in a refinery, which is not yet ready. The president is very keen on that. He wants not all the oil to be taken out of the country. So those two are not ready. As long as they're not yet ready, we cannot produce oil. However, the wells are there enough to produce the oil which we need, but you can't produce because you can't transport it to Tanzania, which will be going. There's also no refinery yet.
So if they've done 15 wells, that means that they are very close to the 17 they need to start oil production. The other wells will be drilled even after production has begun. But to start oil production, they need 17, and if they've done up to 15, since they have done up to 15 now, you can see how close they are getting to being ready for oil production.
According to Sinuk Uganda, the 48 kilometers feeder pipeline linking the facility to the Kabalega Industrial Park has also been completed. It is from Kabalega that Uganda's crude oil will begin its 1,443-kilometer journey through the East African crude oil pipeline to Tanga, Tanzania, and eventually to international markets.
So we shall pump the crude oil through another pipeline called the feeder pipeline. It runs for 80 kilometers from the CPF to Kabale. Kabale is our collection point. At Kabale, we shall have both the oils from the two projects, the Kingfisher and the Tenga projects collected at that point in Kabale.
Come the second half of next year, we should be able to see completion of this project. In the second half, I am not able to tell you which month, but in the second half of next year, we shall complete. In the second half of next year, we should be able to talk about the word's first oil.
Over 100 development wells have been drilled across the Tilenga and Kingfisher projects in the Albertine Graben, and by June this year, more than 60% of the pipeline works had been completed.
With every milestone achieved in these vast oil fields of the Albertine and the East African crude oil pipeline, Uganda edges closer and closer to its first commercial oil. Dennis Igor for UBC News in Buhuka on the shores of Lake Albert.
Now, the Permanent Secretary of the Public Service Commission, Dr. John Geoffrey Mbabazi, has commended the government of Uganda for the consistent progress made towards oil production and refining in the Albertine region. Dr. Mbabazi made the remarks during the first of the three-day working shop visit to the Albertine oil fields by senior officers and board members of the Commission.
The Ugandans constitute more than 90% of the workforce in terms of the local content.
The Secretary Public Service Commission, Dr. John Geoffrey Mbabazi, has said that since the discovery of oil in the Albertine Graben, government has deliberately invested in training specialized human resources such as geologists, engineers and petroleum experts to effectively manage the sector.
We have moved to a tour in the oil fields of Telenga and Kingfisher. We means the chairperson and members and the senior staff of the Public Service Commission. The purpose of this tour is to see, because the oil industry is going to be a game changer in the country, and we as a commission who are involved in the recruitment of staff we'd like to see what kind of stuff are needed for this kind of new industries.
He said this is part of a long-term plan to empower Ugandan professionals to take full charge of the oil and gas industry, thereby reducing reliance on foreign expatriates. Dr. Mbabazi added that the Commission continues to work closely with the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development to bridge manpower gaps, citing earlier collaborations on the Isimba and Karuma hydropower projects.
Then, as a Commission, we have asked the people from the Ministry of Mineral Development and Energy to identify some people whom we can recruit so that they can help in the development of the oil industry.
The acting commissioner of the Midstream Petroleum Department, Engineer Dr. Geoffrey Ogwang, said Uganda's economy will benefit greatly once oil production begins. He confirmed that the country is on course to achieve first oil by June 2026, with initial production projected at about 230,000 barrels of oil per day.
They are doing a lot of fabrication, quality assurance, quality control, and welding part of building up this stuff.
He noted that despite earlier delays in road construction and financing challenges, steady progress has been achieved. Engineer Ogwang emphasized that oil development is a cornerstone of Uganda's Vision 2040, expected to generate jobs, strengthen infrastructure, and accelerate industrialization.
We are trying to work with the ministries concerned. Now this time it is energy, but if the other ministries also concerned in the development of the country, so that we can help them recruit the staff they need to be key in the development of this nascent industry.
The visit covered key project sites, including Pump Station, one of the East African crude oil pipeline in Hoima district, the Kingfisher development area in Chikube, the Tilenga oil fields, and Kabalega International Airport.
And quickly into the world of sports, State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, has assured all visitors who are going to participate in the Tuscalite Rwenzori Marathon of total security. The event is expected to take place tomorrow, Saturday, in Kasese municipality.
Minister Kabyanga says that all security organs are on ground to ensure the event takes place in a peaceful environment. He described this event as a game changer for boosting tourism and adding value to the Ugandan economy.
I'd also like to thank the guests who have come from 34 countries now and to come and participate in this marathon. So far, this is the 4th edition of the Tuscalite Rwenzori Marathon, and the rate at which it's growing, I'm really very, very impressed.
Minister Kabyanga commended the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities for participating fully in the event.
Through the Uganda Tourism Board, the new management of Uganda Tourism Board has come in handy, and I would like to thank them, Uganda Wildlife Authority. They have also come in handy, and all other sponsors. And as government, we have assured the infrastructure is worked on. You can see how beautiful Kasese now is, and we have assured security, and we shall ensure there is good investment climate for people to come and invest.
The event's title sponsors, Tuscalite, are optimistic that the marathon offers a win-win scenario for all that take part to benefit.
As Tuscalite, we are very much prepared, bigger and better this year in the town of Kasese. The mood is quite jovial. We've prepared quite a number of activities for the locals and for all the runners coming in, both local and international, for this particular run. We've prepared a huge party, which is our neon rave that happens even after the run. Brought an assortment of artists from Eddie Kenzo to Daddy Kawato, who reigns from Kasese, among local and international.
Renowned sports commentator Rob Walker from the United Kingdom is one of the participants.
I've been coming to Uganda for 20 years, since my first trip in 2005. I've just been blown away by how friendly all the people are, and this is my second time appearing at the Tuscalite Rwenzori Marathon, and I cannot wait for race day. It is so good to be here in Kasese at the base of the Rwenzori Mountains, the heartbeat of this part of Uganda. I'm so excited for the big race. We've done the warm-up, roll on the big day.
Athletes from Kenya have also commended the government of Uganda for promoting East African integration through sports, which they say will enhance improvement in tourism attraction.
Rwenzori is turning out to be a very good run, very competitive, international in nature, and that is why we are here. We also have a Kilimanjaro Marathon, we have Serengeti Marathon. So it's only in Uganda that we didn't have an international marathon. And Tuscalite Rwenzori Marathon has moved in, occupied that space, and it's part of East Africa integration.
This year's Kasese Marathon is the 4th edition and is expected to attract more than 6,000 runners from at least 30 countries. Moses Mutabali compiled this report.
Now, in the area of athletics development, Uganda Olympic Committee President Dr. Ronald Rukare has opened a 2-day athletes career 365 session organized by the committee's Athletes Commission at Nobview Hotel, Ntinda.
This workshop has really opened up our eyes as athletes, because as athletes we get lost in sports, training, competitions. We forget the life after sports, and yet life after sports is like the biggest scale of our lives. So
Athlete Career 365 is an initiative by the International Olympic Committee designed to support athletes both during and after their competitive careers. It is an extension of Athlete 365 platform and focuses on long-term personal and professional development. Shadil Musabwoge is a Ugandan bomber.
We obtain a lot of knowledge. We may not get the physical stuff as we want, but we obtain a lot of knowledge. And maybe when your time reaches and you get something that we're talking about, you're ready to perform or to put it in work. Because at the end of the day, everyone needs, there is life after sports. And after life after sports, then you have to be set for yourself, and you're ready to see that you're chasing your goals, or you're ready to live a life without sports.
So here, I've been blessed to know that from my world outside sports, I'm able to be a leader somewhere, and that is what I'm really glad to have learned today from the workshop.
Over the 2 days, participants will be armed with online modules on leadership, financial literacy, communication, and goal setting. With many cases of athletes living in deplorable situations, post-active age, this initiative is so welcome for Uganda. Reporting for BBC TV, Helen Bab.
And then lastly, Johnny Walker Uganda Open Golf Championship has started at Lugazi Hills Golf and Country Club. It's going to be a golf fiesta that will last 3 weeks and has officially teed off with the Seniors Open in the 44 tour players taking part.
Today was the first day opening the Uganda Open 2025 with the seniors tournament, which kicked off today with about 44 players. It's going to go on for the next 4 weeks, this being the first week. We shall have the ladies open coming up next week, and then we shall have the amateurs open in the next week, and we shall close it up with the professionals as we put the curtain down on the Uganda Open 2025. We expect a multitude of players coming into Uganda to compete throughout all these weeks, and we probably expect in about 500 players to be competing. The number of ladies that are going to be coming in from within East Africa and West Africa, in Nigeria to be specific, and then in the amateurs we have a lot of players that have already even booked online to come in from Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya for the amateur open, and then from the professionals. Actually, for the professionals, the bigger percentage is not from Uganda, because in Uganda we have about 40 professionals, but we expect about 120 players. That tells you that about 60-70% is going to be coming out from outside of Uganda. So there are many international players that are going to come and join us, seeing that this is our flagship event, and they have always been with us in the past. So if you want to test your abilities, this is where you test it. So that's why every player is very eager to come and be part of it, because you're playing against the best.
We are happy for the 2025 Johnny Walker Open Championship happening in Rugazi for the first time. This is the first time the championship is happening outside of Entebbe and Kampala. So this basically means that the game is growing, and as Johnny Walker, we are happy to grow with the game. And also, it's starting with the senior championship. Really, this one resonates with our mantra of Johnny Walker, keep walking.
Well, that's it, and that's all we had time for. Thank you once again for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. It's a very good night to you. UBC continues.